what it was. Y'all know who it is, and y'all tuned in with Priceless Knowledge Itself, and I figured I'd hit y'all with a little cosmic insight for the day. And say, man, it's Tuesday, so I guess it's high time for me to stimulate your mind, because this right here, this gonna be a little something about those people that have Jupiter and Libra in their natal chart. And before I even go there, you already know what I'm gonna do first, even though it works some of y'all's nerves. I'm gonna bring y'all a little information on Jupiter and astrology, and then I'm gonna give a little quick breakdown about the sign of Libra in astrology. So, with that being said, let's get off in that thing, huh? So, Jupiter is known as the planet of luck, but I also like to call it the thinking man's planet. That's because it rules over higher learning, and it really gives us a yin for exploring ideas both intellectually and spiritually. Jupiter rules over the sign of Sagittarius and the 9th house of the zodiac chart, and to a smaller degree, the sign of Pisces and the 12th house of the zodiac chart. And intellectually speaking, Jupiter really helps us in formulating our ideology. And in a more spiritual sense, Jupiter lords over religion and philosophy. You know, it also concerns itself with long distance travel, spiritual or ethical and moral values, and also everybody's sense of optimism. Luck and good fortune are going to come wherever Jupiter shows up in your chart. And if you're able to employ the characteristics of the sign that it's in, it's going to even exponentially bless you. It's the most kind and benevolent energy that there is, and it wants us to flourish in ways that really help us out. But at the same time, there can always be too much of a good thing. You know, wherever Jupiter's involved, you might get a little complacent. You might have a tendency to overindulge, you know. You might go to the well just one too many times. You also just might have this assumption that you have everything under control. But the thing to remember is Jupiter never has everything under control. Jupiter doesn't want control. Jupiter wants to blow past boundaries. You know, it doesn't want to be controlled. It wants to be free. It wants to learn. It wants to love. It wants to expand. And so Saturn, that's restricted, and that's control, not Jupiter. So never assume that you have it under control with Jupiter's energy. Yeah, it gives you blessings, and it can be a great thing. It can be an amazing thing, but sometimes that shit can backfire on your ass, so be careful. And so Libra, this is the 7th sign of the zodiac. It rules over the 7th house. Its symbol is the scales. It's ruled by Venus. It lords over the lower back and the kidneys. And its mantra is, I relate. And this here is cardinal air, y'all. And so it's at this point with Libra that things kind of shift in the zodiac chart, because the first 6 signs of the zodiac, they focus more on the self. Whereas these last 6, they kind of focus on the individual's interaction with others in the world around them. And the Libra signs focus first and foremost is on others and how we relate to them. It's the sign of partnership, and Libra does not like to be alone, y'all. And really, it does everything better in a pair because it wants to seek balance wherever it is. And it's really good like that because, you know, it's all about harmony and fair play. And Libra energy is a real good, great team player and shit. But its main concern is combining with that one energy that really evens it out, you know. And it's also all about beauty, the aesthetics, and money too. And I think the main thing that people are always concerned with Libra energy is indecisiveness. But indecisiveness comes with emotion. But what you have to understand here is this is cardinal air. The indecisiveness is really objectiveness. This is the only inanimate object of the whole zodiac. So it's able to take itself apart from the physical part of the situation and see things from every point of view, way up there in the air. So just remember that. And so what about these people that are born with Jupiter and Libra in their natal chart? Well, the main thing to remember about these people is that, you know, they're usually extraordinarily beautiful, both inside and out. You know, these are gracious and elegant creatures whose style and attitude both reflected, and, you know, people really greatly admire them for it too. You know, the way that they talk to people and always give everybody a fair shot, you know, it's always going to bring them countless advantages in this life, man. And it should, because they deserve a fair shot if they're giving everybody else one. You know, they're the type to mediate fights and bring folks together that have been at odds, because they're all about peace and harmony and being diplomatic. You know, they seek equality, so Jupiter is going to expand their playing field in this aspect too, which makes it damn near impossible for them not to bring peace wherever they go with these forces at work, man. Once again, that's beautiful. You know, they could be great attorneys, judges, and politicians if only they be able to pick which motherfucking side to play on. But, you know, these are definitely the type of motherfuckers that you would see out protesting for the rights of those less fortunate, because, you know, they definitely have a strong tendency to put other people's needs before their own. And, you know, that's another reason that whether they're aware of it or not, their presence is always greatly appreciated in the lives of a lot of motherfuckers, man. For real, man. But more than anything else in this universe, Libra Jupiter motherfuckers are keen to find that one other half, you know, that one perfect partner that, you know, knows how to take charge of the motherfucking situation and balance them out. And the search for which, it can make them a little nomadic in this life, because they're willing to search the whole entire motherfucking universe for that one, and they ain't gonna settle. And a lot of us might need to take notes, because settling is why a lot of us are in a lot of toxic bullshit, or because we settled in some shit is why we sit at home looking sour by our motherfucking self right now. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm seeing. This is like a hopeless romantic, just superhero style. You know what I mean? Like, this is what they want. This is what they need. They probably had dreams of it when they were kids, man. Like, they're relationship oriented, like any Libra position. And, you know, Jupiter being here is definitely willing to bring them major blessings in that regard, because they're willing to not settle. And as far as their taste goes, you know, they love expensive and refined things and beautiful and classy companies. So you ain't never going to catch them moving sloppily unless their own shit is seriously imbalanced in their lives. And, you know, that's always going to be a struggle with Libra energy, is making sure that they're balanced. But one of the most beautiful things of this aspect, and people having Jupiter placed here, is the fact that as soon as they're able to get their own shit in balance and get their own shit right, man, these folks are going to get to work and showing other people how to get their life balances. And they're going to put the action in, because this is cardinal energy. So it's about action. So as soon as they're able to find balance, what they're going to do is start helping the people that they care about find balance in their lives. And once they get that accomplished, you know, they can take it to a broad spectrum. That's why they make great yoga instructors too, marriage counselors. Like, they're just good with that type of shit, man. I think that's really what's up. In relationships, though, Jupiter and Libras are going to be some of the most supportive, and loving partners that there can be. And, you know, so much so that it's probable that they could lose themselves in those relationships. I mean, completely lose their own identity. Or even fucking with motherfuckers who are constantly taking their kindness as weakness or running over them, because they're going to be attracted to aggressive type motherfuckers, which that's crazy, man. Oh, well, I can't say that. Males with Jupiter and Libra would be attracted to aggressive type feminine energy, or whatever it is. And females, what this is saying is that, you know, you're going to want a husband that exhibits strong Libra qualities. Because another little hint I'm going to give you is that if you're married, you can usually look to a woman's Jupiter sign, and that is a good indicator of her husband or her intended husband's moon sign. So there's a little trick. But either way, you know, besides being, you know, so lovable and accepting to the point that they might get ran over, you know, they're always going to have to keep a sharp eye on themselves for, you know, allowing themselves to be manipulated, even though they saw it coming, just because for the sake of the relationship. Like, hey man, if you want your blessings, you still have to establish your own identity in this relationship. You know, Jupiter and Libra motherfuckers, you know, they can have a colossal ego too. Sometimes, you know, they can walk around with their nose in the air, you know, exuding this little condescending tone that actually isn't even reflecting their true inner nature, because at their core, you know, they want peace. At their core, they don't judge anybody. So you can't judge someone for being lower than you if you're non-judgmental. You know what I mean? So however they're being perceived, they're just coming across wrong. So they just really need to understand that. And the people that fool with them might need to understand that, because at their core, they're actually the most peaceful and artistic motherfuckers who don't judge anybody without giving them their fair due. So it's really a trip. And on another note, you know, they're always gonna have problems with spending with this right here because of that expensive taste. So let's make sure that we're not living beyond our means, Jupiter and Libra people, because that's a big thing. The same thing with Jupiter and Leo, man. Like, spending beyond your means is gonna be a struggle that you'll have in your life. And, you know, as with all Libra shit, man, the main negative issue here is gonna revolve around that perpetual motherfucking indecisiveness that, you know, they constantly struggle with. And, you know, unfortunately, Jupiter isn't really gonna help out much in that regard, because it wants them, pardon me, y'all, it wants them to be that motherfucker that makes their own choices. But once they do finally step back and step up and do make their own decisions, you know, Jupiter's going to bring them major blessings. Jupiter's going to bring them major blessings. So truth be told, they bless themselves more than anything else. And truth be told, fucking with Jupiter is going to make you bless yourself. While you're thinking that Jupiter blessed you, the whole time you've blessed yourself, man. And lastly, you know, should these motherfuckers ever put some thought into nurturing their creativity, you know, the things that they create could be amazing. They could have timeless beauty. The way that they speak, you know, the things that they draw, the music that they write, you know, it's crazy. This is the Mona Lisa. This is the Sistine Chapel, you know. This is Shakespearean wordplay, you know. This is Vincent van Gogh's The Starry Night. And, you know, even beyond the beauty, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if their bank account gets blessed abundantly as well behind this, opening up this door with this creativity. So there's a little hint. And my biggest advice for y'all that have Libra Jupiter is, you know, to learn how to be loyal to your relationships without losing your own unique identity or ending up being a motherfucking victim, cause that's y'all's bag to carry, not mine. Understand? Either way, well, what you make it is what you make it, man. Just remember that. Just because you built like that, it don't mean you have to build like that. This been some priceless knowledge of self, man. If y'all fucking with me, please like, share, and subscribe. If y'all are interested in the astrological readings whatsoever, please either hit me up in the comments below or email me at mr.turner1300@gmail.com. And hey man, I'm gonna hit y'all in a minute with a little something about those people that have Jupiter and Virgo in their natal chart. So I'll get at you in a few.